there's always one person that'll raise their hand, just inspired. My name is Brian Rhodes. I'm with the Coeburn Fire Department. This is Angel and this is Tanner, and we also have Luke and Ethan over at the fire truck. We're going to show you the fire truck. We're going to show you some of the gear. We're going to talk to you a little bit. So just a couple things I want to mention to you. Everybody knows about stop, drop, and roll, right?
Yes.
What's that for?
It's fire.
If you happen to catch on fire, if your clothes catch on fire. So one of the important things to do, if you do that, is cover your face. If something happens, your clothes catches on fire, you want to cover your face and then roll around. And then what's going to happen is if something happens like that, all your friends will come and they're going to start beating you to try to put the fire out. So that helps to cover your face so they're not beating your face also. So that's really important. The big thing is cover your face so it don't burn your face. Now, one of the things we talk about also when we teach fire prevention, we talk about when you're in school, don't you do fire drills at the school?
Yeah.
Well, we call a thing that's called EDIT, E-D-I-T-H, exit drills in the house. How many times have you ever had a fire drill at the house? Does anybody know where to go to if you were to have your house catches on fire? Where would you go?
Like out of the window.
Okay, but now the important thing is does your parents know where you're going to go? So what you want to do is talk to your parents and tell them, see, listen, we need to have a place that we're going to go to. How many people have a swimming pool? Or a play set? Can everybody hear these? Everybody's like, I'm afraid to raise my hand. I ain't going to say anything. So if you've got someplace to go, even if it's like the car in the driveway, tell your parents, say, listen, if we have a fire, I'm going to go over here to the car, or I'm going to go over here to this building, I'm going to go to the swimming pool. You don't want to go to the neighbor's house because your parents are going to start looking for you and say, where are they at? You're like, I ain't got a clue. And they're going to start looking for you. You're over at the neighbor's house watching TV saying, I'm safe over here. And they're like, I don't know where they're at. So talk to your parents about where you're going to go to. That's one important thing, is you all get on the same game plan and practice one time. And then also practice, like you said, you're going to go out the window. That's going to be the easiest way. What happens if the window's locked? Try to think of another way to get out of the house. You might have a front door, a back door. Or, if you go out the front door, maybe the front door is what's blocking off. So you want to go out the back door. Do you ever want to go back in for something if your house is on fire?
No.
They say the only crazy people are the firefighters because we're telling you to come out of the house, and what are we doing? We're going in, exactly. So that's how it shows us how crazy we are. But we're trained with this. We're going to show you some of our gear, our helmets, and things like that. That'll help us to go in. How hot do you think a house fire can get? Any idea? That's a little hot.
No, I meant 1200.
How about 1,200 degrees? Yeah, anywhere between like 800 to let's say 1,200 degrees. You think water boils at 200 degrees, 212 I think it is. So that's really hot. You can get burnt really easy. So we are trained to go in and be able to put out the fires. We take water with us and we wear the equipment so we won't get burned. We wear air packs so that we have all this air with us so that we can breathe and we can breathe inside when there's smoke. Most people, if they're in a house, they'll end up breathing in all that smoke, and that's what causes them to pass out. Is because they go in. It's almost not the fire that hurts anybody. It's the smoke. You go in, you're sitting there, and you're thinking, oh, I need to go back and get this toy, or I need to get my dog or something. I'll tell you, if your house catches on fire, your dog's going to be the first one out there. Your cat's going to be the first one. They're going to be gone. Now, goldfish aren't that smart. They don't know to get out of the house. They just stay in the bowl. But let's be honest, they're going to be in water, so they're not going to be hurt. But most of the time, the dogs will come out. But it's when people go back in and they start breathing the smoke, and they're like, oh, I can't breathe no more, they pass out. And so that's why we have to go in, we drag them out, we have to give them fresh air so they can breathe. So if you have a house fire, get out as soon as you can. There are two different ways to get out of your house. And again, talk with your parents and find out where can we go. If something does happen, where am I going to go to meet my parents at? Is it a swimming pool? Is it the end of the driveway? And it could be the mailbox. It could be anywhere as long as you all know where you're going. You don't want to go in different places and you have your parents over here, you're over here, your little brother's over here, your little sister's over here, and everybody's going, well, I don't know where anybody's at. So that's some of the important things that we want to teach you, that we want you to learn as being firefighters. And we want to show you some of the equipment we got. We're going to let you go play around the fire trucks. We want you to look at them. And if you have any questions, if you have any answers. Everybody just ready to go back and get another cookie? That's me. No, just kidding. All right, let's go over here and we'll show you the trucks. We'll let you play around in them.